Peace back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Smitty's Corner. So, for this one right here, we're just going to take a quick second to basically look at what are some of the scariest creatures that have ever walked the planet. Now, I can tell you right now, as a definitely to this very day dinosaur fan myself, right? I would say, you know, definitely dinosaurs were very scary. But let's see exactly what other type of creatures throughout the world have been the scariest since the dawn of man. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
Never existed. But what if I told you that there were some ancient creatures that were even more terrifying than dinosaurs? Ones with dagger-like teeth, massive horns, and gigantic sizes that would put T-Rex to shame. There were even some insects that were as big as you. Let's travel through time as we take a look at creatures scarier and more dangerous than dinosaurs. Megalodons.
And with that being said, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Ready to come face to face with one of the scariest aquatic predators of all time? Meet the Megalodon. The name of this prehistoric shark literally means big tooth. So you can count on the fact that these were some of the most terrifying animals.
Megalodon. Yeah, mega as in big, don, tooth. Okay, all right, so Megalodon, big tooth.
Ever to exist, especially during their time on Earth, between 3.6 to 23 million years ago. Megalodons were the largest sharks and one of the biggest fish ever, measuring a staggering 18 meters long and weighing over 70 tons. These sea creatures were mythologically gigantic and dangerous. They had massive jaws that could swallow you and a friend whole at the same time, even without clamping down on you with one of their many massive teeth that were bigger than dinner plates and perfectly designed to tear through your flesh with ease. Megalodons ate whales, dolphins, and possibly other sharks. And if we put them up against the scariest dinosaurs of all time, they'd certainly be a contender for the most apex of all apex predators. Woolly mammoths.
That is definitely something surprising. Now I want to see about this one right here, because this in the original Power Rangers was definitely one of my favorites next to Triceratops. So let's keep going.
Okay, let's move on to a beast that our earliest human ancestors used to encounter thundering through frozen landscapes. Woolly mammoths. These colossal creatures were a testament to nature's ability to adapt to and thrive in even the harshest of living conditions. They roamed the Earth during the Ice Age from about 400,000 to 4,000 years ago. And then they went extinct. If they hadn't, who knows if humans would have gone on to become the dominant species we are today. Woolly mammoths weighed between 6 and 8 tons and stood at the imposing height of nearly 4 meters. It just so happens that they had gigantic curved tusks that were also nearly 4 meters long. But while their absolutely intimidating size might make them as fiercely scary as the dinosaurs, these fuzzy giants were herbivores. Lucky for us, that means they wouldn't need to hunt us down for dinner. Saber-toothed tigers.
That is very interesting when it comes to that. Now this one right here is very fascinating, but you know something that's also crazy, believe it or not, their tusk-like fang teeth actually broke off often. For them, luckily, I think they actually grew back, just like how sharks' teeth can replace themselves. But let's keep listening.
This brings us to one of the most formidable predators of the Pleistocene epoch, maybe even of all time. the saber-toothed tiger. These prehistoric cats stalked the land like silent assassins between 10,000 and 2.5 million years ago. They hunted everything from mammoths to mastodons. And yes, it's possible that an ancient relative of yours might have had a close encounter with one of the beasts. Saber-tooths weren't your average house cat either. They could be as long as 2 meters from head to toe and weigh up to 300 kilograms. Plus, as the name suggests, they had 2 massive and sharp canine teeth that resembled long, curved swords. These made them truly fearsome predators. They would ambush their prey and take them out with bite after fatal bite. Not that I'd want to be anywhere near this battleground, but these are definitely animals that could take on even the most dangerous dinos, like velociraptors, early primates.
Shoot, I'm not going to even front. That is something very interesting. Hydrangopithecus is something pithecus. It's like basically how people still look for Bigfoot. Believe it or not, Bigfoot actually, truly, what we designed it as was a real, actual creature called Gigantopithecus. There we go. We got it together. Gigantopithecus is the name of that animal. You can Google it for yourself. It's basically Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Yeti, whatever you call it, wherever you're from. But with that being said, let's rock out. I don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it. I haven't seen the video. Raw reaction.
Okay, this one might not send the same shiver down your spine, but if you look further back into our own gene pool, there are some intimidating specimens. Like this ancestor of ours. Look no further than the early primate known as Dinopithecus. These baboon-like primates lived between 500,000 to 2.5 million years ago. And even though they aren't huge by today's standards, at around 50 kilograms, they were one of the largest primates of the time.
He did say Dinopithecus. I just want to make this clarification. Still, take your own time and just type in Gigantopithecus. And I guarantee you it's totally different. But I don't know. Again, raw reaction. Maybe there will be a reference made. I don't know. But let's go ahead and keep going.
And considering that they would have had to compete with the previous mentioned beasts and even early humans, there's no doubt that these monkeys knew how to fend off other large predators. Elasmotherium. This next ancient animal might have the most beautiful and least scary sounding name of them all.
I'm not gonna lie. If anybody was to ever tell you what one of, I would say, out of 5 my favorite animals are, at coming in at number 2 is the rhinoceros. Now I said it that way to make sure that we heard what I said. Not the rhinoceros. One more time. Not the rhinoceros. Right? The rhinoceros. And the reason why I say that is because we really do neglect the fact that still right now on planet Earth, we actually have a living antique relic, an actual dinosaur. Rhinoceros. Actual dinosaurs still living. It's one of my favorites. And with that being said, let's see what we got.
It was known as the Siberian unicorn. But don't be fooled, they were not rare magical horses. Actually, they were an ancestor to the rhinoceros. And you better believe that they were big and had one very large horn protruding from their head. They were believed to have weighed around 4.5 tons, but that didn't make them slow by any stretch. They had long legs that allowed them to run across open grasslands at stunning speeds. And while there isn't any evidence of one in our fossil records, it's possible that their mythologized unicorn horns measured up to 2 meters in length.
Why is that? I wonder. I do at times, right? So we're not going to negate this creature existence, right? We won't do that. I'm not that advanced in any form of fashion to even try to dispute it, but I would say I do find it very, very, I would say, funny, fishy, suspicious that there are these creatures at times where, like, for example, right, watch this. We have, for the longest time, have always been told that dinosaurs basically are like the skin of like alligators, rhinos, hippos, and iguanas and snakes, right? Like that type of texture. The leathery. Okay, cool. Comes to find out now through a lot of research, there are a lot of dinosaurs that they believe truly lived through the ice age, and the only way to live through that is for them to have what? Feathers and fur. So there have been a lot of misnomers and conceptions, so I don't know. I don't know. History is very, very wild, but I just find it crazy that they're saying that they can make a description of this animal so deep. Like, look at that. Now, most of us would look at that and say, that, would you really argue if that really existed back in the day, considering all the animals of species and creations that we know no longer exist but used to? No, I think most of us who know would say to ourselves, you know what? It's quite possible that once been here. But then once we hear the narrator of the story say, we don't really have no fossil records, that then it's like, then how do we have such a clear description of what once was but no longer is? I have no clue, but science is amazing. I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
Glyptodon. From here on out, some of the animals from the past could seem a little weird. And in terms of a scary weirdo that might be able to give a dinosaur a run for its money, check out the armored mammal.
I ain't gonna lie, that is a relative I can see to one of my favorite dinosaurs, which would be the Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus, Pliosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Triceratops. And you know what's crazy? All of my favorite dinosaurs are herbivores, and here it is. I'm a cannibal. I said cannibal. I'm a